If you're finding it tough to get lean and, more important, stay lean, it's likely because you're facing challenges, setbacks, and obstacles. Maybe you're really good for a few days and then you cave into temptations. Maybe you're really good during the week and then you lose it on the weekends. Maybe being in a calorie deficit makes you feel like you're suffering all the time. Or maybe the idea that you have 20, 30, or even 40 pounds or more to lose feels overwhelming and daunting, like it's never going to happen. I can totally relate. And because of these challenges, these setbacks, this feeling of suffering, it's very easy to want to hop from diet plan to diet plan, hoping that the next one that we attempt will kind of eliminate the suffering. It will eliminate the challenges that we're facing. But what I have learned from losing 50 pounds 13 years ago and going through a few years of bulking and cutting where I gained 20 pounds or 30 pounds intentionally and then losing it through other cutting phases and then maintaining, getting lean and staying lean for the past 7 years, what I've learned from all of these experiences is that all these challenges, setbacks, obstacles, all the suffering, it's not happening to me, it's happening for me. I really relate it to a lot of the ancient wisdom, like Stoicism saying the obstacle is the way. Buddhism saying that the path to happiness is through suffering. Or looking at a lot of the other philosophies and teachings out there, whether it's Taoism, Hinduism, Buddhism, Stoicism, where they're talking about the importance of being present in the moment and to realize that all the answers are going to come from within. Now, when we look at suffering, especially the idea that we're in a calorie deficit and it can feel like we're suffering in those moments, we got to ask ourselves, like, what's the root cause of this suffering? And really, when we sit in it, we reflect on it, it's not necessarily that we're in a calorie deficit. It may have a little bit to do with it, but it really is because we're breaking those habits that really led to our biggest suffering of gaining weight, being overweight, really feeling full, bloated, uncomfortable, not performing our best. Maybe like me, having acid reflux at night when I'm lying in bed, so it gave me a crappy night's sleep and poor impact on our overall health, our overall well-being. Like, those bad habits led to our real suffering. And now that we're trying to break free from those bad habits, that's what's making us feel like we're suffering in this moment. So what can we do to overcome that suffering? What's the path to break free from that and the path to happiness, leading us from suffering to happiness there? Maybe it is realizing that the suffering is going on in our mind at this moment. What can we do to distract ourselves? Maybe get out for a walk or do some other activity. Like, how many times have you been involved in a project? You're just immersed in it. You're like, holy smokes, it's been like 7, 8 hours. I haven't eaten a thing. I totally forgot to eat here. I've been so distracted in this moment. So if you get out, you get your body moving in a way that's fun, maybe take on a project that's going to distract you from these feelings of hunger, that can help you get through that suffering in the moment. So again, being present in the moment, or focusing on your overall lifestyle, realizing that if you prioritize your sleep, you're getting an adequate amount of quality sleep each and every night, establishing that consistent sleep-wake pattern, making sure you're getting at least 7 hours of sleep each and every night, preferably 8 to 9 hours of sleep each and every night. That has shown to have a positive impact on managing your appetite. If you are sleep deprived, that's going to increase your appetite. Maybe that is what is leading to your suffering. Maybe it's focusing on more foods and meals that are satiating to you. So finding those combinations that make you feel satisfied even though you're in a calorie deficit. And incorporating some of your favorite treats as well, so you don't feel like you're depriving yourself. So maybe the reason you feel like you're suffering is because you're trying to eliminate everything that you really enjoy. You're just focusing on eating broccoli, tilapia, and rice, which is just no fun. We're having that every single day. So maybe that's what's leading to your suffering, and that's your way out, is to learn how to incorporate some of those foods in there. Maybe it's drinking water to satiate you, so fill up your stomach. Maybe it's taking your time chewing your food slowly, like truly savoring every bite, and just to recognize that, you know what, I'm not maybe enjoying that little bit of hunger, that little bit of lightness there. It's a sign. There's just a huge sense of accomplishment that can come from recognizing, you know what, this is what hunger feels like, rather than the past, what led you to gain that weight in the first place was eating, really never experiencing what real hunger feels like. You're eating before you ever get to that point. So many lessons that can be gained from acknowledging your suffering, acknowledging the root cause of your suffering, and finding that path to get you out of that. So you stop doing the things that are causing the suffering, and you do the things that are going to end up bringing you great joy to the experience. And the happiness comes from that process, getting to that point, developing the new habits that are going to allow you to thrive and bring out the best in you. When it comes to the obstacles, the challenges, the temptations that you're caving into, like recognizing, like for myself personally, from my experiences, when I was struggling to lose that 50 pounds of fat, I'd be really good for a few days, like the all or nothing approach, eating nothing but whole natural nutrient rich foods. Then I'd see the cookies in the cupboard. I'm like, I've been really good for a few days. I'll just have one cookie. And one cookie would turn to two, one cookie would turn to three, and then the three would be, at that point, I'm like, screw it. I screwed up my whole diet. I'm just going to eat the entire box now. I'm going to eat a tub of ice cream. I'm going to have a bag of chips and a box of cereal at the same time. I blew my diet. Might as well go hog wild here. And then the idea, like thinking to myself in that moment, come on, like every time I'm so good here, I see cookies in the cupboard. Why do I always have to face this temptation? Well, that obstacle is always going to be there. My family loves cookies. I'm not going to get rid of that. And the obstacle keeps presenting itself because it was an opportunity for me to learn and grow, to learn how to eat those cookies in moderation, responsibly. Like I'm at a point right now, I haven't felt stuffed, like over full in over 7 years here while staying lean because of what I learned through that process 13 years ago of losing that 50 pounds of fat. That, you know what, I can have 3 cookies and fit it into my calorie target for the day. It's not going to blow my diet. And if I have any more than those 3 cookies, it's not going to make me feel more satisfied. Like it's not going to bring greater joy to my life. If anything, more than 3 cookies may lead to the suffering there. So I don't want to suffer. I want to just enjoy those 3 cookies, knowing that, hey, I savored every bite, tasted great, hit my calorie target for the day. I'm still on the path to lose that 50 pounds of fat. I'm golden here. So learning from that experience, learning to eat those foods in moderation, learning that I can have those cookies each and every day, and then evolving over time throughout these past 13 years, like 7 years ago, really getting to that point where actually it's a couple of years ago where I went through a mini cut where it was, I ate nothing but whole natural nutrient rich foods. Telling myself like, you know what, if I want to have some of my processed treats that I really enjoy, I'm going to have them. But really listening to my body, like anytime the thought popped up, maybe it's been a while since I've had a treat, if you want to call it, I had processed foods like cookies or something like that. Maybe I should have one. And I think to myself, do I really want one? Or is that just because of habits from the past? And realize, you know what? I'm golden. I feel great. What I really want right now is maybe some eggs, oats, and berries, something that's really satiating that I enjoy, that I look forward to each and every day. Maybe it's my shake in the morning. I'm really looking forward to it. The meal, I really can't wait for the smoked salmon, the baked Brussels sprouts, and the rice or sweet potatoes that really come with that. The sweet potatoes taste like candy when I bake them, especially with the baked Brussels sprouts. So like I look forward to those meals. Like that's what I want. That's what I crave. That's what my body craves. I would rather have that than cookies or ice cream or anything like that. So really paying attention to, again, being present in the moment and realizing, all right, what is going to serve me in this moment? And when I'm eating something, is it going to satiate me? Is it going to nourish me? Is it going to allow me to perform my best? Or is it going to make me feel a little sluggish? Just noticing how my body responds in the moment to the food I'm nourishing it with and how it responds afterwards, whether it's sustaining my energy or it causes my energy to crash shortly afterwards. So having that heightened sense of awareness. And again, it really comes down to being present in the moment, being mindful of all of the decisions, the choices that you're making throughout the day. And to really, again, when you're doing that, when you're focused on the moment, you're doing the things that are not only going to serve you right now, but the outcome takes care of itself. So you're focused more on the process rather than the outcome. So you're no longer feeling overwhelmed that, God, still got to lose 30 pounds here. This is going to take forever. No, it's like, what I got to do right now is just eat the food that's going to allow me to thrive in this moment, to feel my best, to perform my best. And really knowing like that's when you have that sense of awareness, the answers come from within. What is going to serve me best in this moment? Sometimes it is the cookies. Like I haven't had cookies in a little while. I really want to have this right now. I'm going to enjoy it, and I'm going to enjoy it responsibly because I've learned to do that over time. It all comes from experience. It's the greatest teacher, but it only happens when you have that heightened sense of awareness. And when you embrace those obstacles, again, it's always Nelson Mandela, you win or you learn. So there's no failures. If you experience that setback, you learn from that challenge. That challenge presented itself to you for a reason, so you can learn and grow. So get excited when those challenges present themselves rather than get discouraged and throw in the towel. Here we go again. Every time things go good, this obstacle always happens. Like, here we go again. Every time this everything going gets good, an obstacle presents itself, and it gives me that opportunity to learn and grow to become better, because this is going to serve me over the long term. So it is a shift in perspective that you can learn from all the ancient wisdom out there. It's why like the greatest books that I read now are older books, philosophical books, or teachings from Buddha, from Taoism, from Hinduism, Stoicism, like all that stuff resonates with me deep because it allows me to live my life to the fullest, to find that path to happiness, which is being happy right now, to realize that the suffering, the obstacles are all there for me. They're not just happening to me as a way to like punish me or anything like that. So no, here, this is meant to help you further along this journey here. So focus on your mindset, focus on your mental well-being, and I guarantee that's going to set you up for success over the long term.